David Hartman, owner of Fantastic Endeavors Travel Agency. Welcome to our Port Orleans Resort review. Yes, Walt Disney World Moderate Resort. Welcome to my Enjoy the Journey luxury travel show. As always, like this wherever you're watching it, share it. Really does help me out. And subscribe to my Fantastic Endeavors YouTube channel where all my shows are in archive. Today, we're going to talk about the history of the resort, the restaurants, some excellent eateries at Orleans Riverside, the themed areas, a lot of the activities you can do, which is pretty impressive, and do a full room review of a preferred room in Alligator Bayou where I stayed very recently. Here I'm coming from the bridge overlooking Sassagoula River and the big Waterwheel at the Riverside Mill Food Court. So first off, this is a Walt Disney World Moderate Resort. Now, what does that mean? A quick review. Value Resorts, Moderate, Deluxe, Deluxe Villa. Value Resorts, the big box hotels, not near a theme park, very deep IP theming, Disney movie character theming. Moderate Resorts are big, sprawling resorts, more low-key buildings, more adult-type theming, as we'll talk about during this show. And check out my February 13th Super Bowl Sunday show regarding Disney's Port Orleans French Quarter Resort, which is the adjacent resort, part of the Port Orleans campus. Together, they're the largest resort at Walt Disney World. We'll talk more about that too. Deluxe resorts are closer to theme parks. And again, more of that adult theming, bigger rooms, more amenities. And then the villa properties are long-term stays. Adjacent are part of deluxe resorts. So this is a moderate resort. Looking at about $250 to $300 price point, depending on the time of the year, maybe a little higher. And it's a wonderful place to stay because you're kind of away from it all, especially at this resort. So let's talk about Disney's Port Orleans Riverside Resort. It opened in February 2nd, 1992 as Disney's Dixie Landing Resort. At the time, only Alligator Bayou was the part of the resort that was open. And then they changed the name to Orleans Riverside Resort once they add the Magnolia Bend section. And stay tuned for a map real quick. As I go through the resort, keep in mind at the end, I'll give my tips at the end. I'll cover my experiences. And this is a thorough resort review, so stay with me to the end. And at the end, I'll cover my tips of my best of resort, what to do and where to stay. There are 2,048 rooms. It's the second largest resort on Walt Disney World just by itself. It is bigger than Caribbean Beach Resort, another mountain resort, but it's smaller than Coronado. The whole campus is around 100 acres. It's almost the size of Magic Kingdom if you include French Quarter, which is very impressive. The theme is like Song of the South, Antebellum South along Mississippi River. Hence why now you see Princess and the Frog theming in some of the resort, especially in the rooms. As always, guys, leave a comment, a question in the chat. Already see comments getting in. Stay tuned. I'll feature those comments real quick. Next up, let's talk about this resort. Let's talk about a map and show you exactly what this looks like. So this is Orleans Riverside Resort. Let me get rid of that banner real quick. It's massive. Okay, 2,000 plus rooms, over 100 acres. The center building is the food court, your lobby, your restaurant, your general store. In the middle is Old Man River Island, Muddy Rivers Pool Bar, Fishin Hole, the main pool. Check out all the pools on this campus. You got the main one, 2, 3 in Preferred and Alligator Bayou area, and then 2 in Magnolia Bend. So the resort opened 1992, 30 years old. Congratulations, by the way. You had just those areas, a smaller building. So when you look at the theming, think of like deep south. Plantation homes is Magnolia Bend. Then deep in the bayous, more the kind of like rugged fisherman wildlife country of Alligator Bayou. There is a walkway around the whole resort that you could take a horse and carriage or a Surrey bike ride or just walk or jog. And it's a lot to navigate, but check out all the parking around the outside. As I go through my room review at the end, I will talk about how the preferred section of the blue buildings right here. That's why I like this map the best. It's not your typical Disney map. A fan actually made this. And then the red buildings in Magnolia Bend, the Patiera Place, and Oak Manor, those are your royal guest rooms. So keep that in mind as we talk about the different parts of resorts. Those are the super themed rooms. The rest of the rooms are more subtle theming of Princess and the Frog. So the place is huge, but I mean, how do you get around? Look at all the bus stops on the green buildings on the edges. There's 4 different bus stops, 3 on the outer edge and 1 right in the middle. So keep that map as a mental note. And it is really convenient to the Alligator Bayou, but there is bridges that cut through the middle to get around. But it's a lot to navigate. Being there recently and seeing people walk around with luggage all different areas is pretty funny. I guess they want to wait for a cart. Pretty cool. Next up, I have plenty of videos prepared to a fully produced show today for everybody. Obviously, I'm going to do a full thorough review and talk about my tips at the end. First video I want to talk about is a very thorough video. Stay tuned to the end of the lobby, the lounges area, the restaurants, and the general store, Fulton General Store, which is one of the more impressive general stores or stores of any resort I've been to. So check it out right now. Welcome to Port Orleans Riverside Resort, Walt Disney World. This is the lobby and the check-in area. Love the chairs in here. If you're chilling, waiting for your room or waiting for your pickup, just waiting for a friend. Registration right here, Monster Hall. And look closely up top when you come here. Not only is it beautiful, fantastic kind of southern architecture. Check out the names up top of all the famous areas of lower New Orleans and lower Louisiana. Vicksburg, Greenville, Madrid, Cairo. It's a Saturday, busy day, busy check-in day. Across the way, of course, is River Roost. A lounge. Drinks and spirits, or spirits and victuals. Classic way of saying it. Famous Yeehaw Bob Jackson plays here Wednesday through Saturdays, not on Sunday night. People waiting for their room. And then one of the best general stores, gift shops on campus for a hotel is Fultons. And this place has everything. And check out, right when you walk in on the left, they have some great new Disney stuff for your home. Housewares. Suitable for gifting and weddings. And then check out these new cookie jars. And make sure you check out in the distance the twin Mickey and Goofy running the wood oven. Classic. Fulton's is gorgeous. Plenty of coffee mugs go around. And every general store at a moderate resort above, and even value resorts have some small items that you can buy for your room. We'll check out the lounge and then Boatwright's next door. Quiet now. We're back here tonight, Saturday night. Your Yeehaw Bob. Again, he plays weekends, Friday, Saturday, but not Sunday nights. That's his night off. He took a small hiatus during COVID, but he's back, right? Rocking that piano. Stay tuned for footage later. Place is crowded and rocking. We do have small bites here, but mostly a bar. And next door is Boatwright's. One of my favorite restaurants on campus. Only here for the first time recently, and now with it vacant, I can show you some actual detail here. Boatwright is a ship maker, an old wooden shipbuilder. Monster big restaurant. Had a lot of critiques before COVID. I never ate here. I said, how could it? It's New Orleans food. And whatever they did, even the critics are not raving about it. It's wonderful. I ate here 3 times already since reopening recently, a few months ago. And just ate here on my last trip in early March. Late March, I mean. Love the fireplace. And every room has different theming, all dedicated to the boat making industry. The old school wooden planes and tools. Love this restaurant. All part of Orleans Riverside Resort, a moderate resort here at Walt Disney World. And the last piece we're going to show you as we show you the last view of this ship and the welcome sign is the quick service dining area. There is the boat to Disney Springs, and right here is where the horse and carriages pick up every evening starting 5:30. Some go to French Quarter, some go to Riverside Resort. A better view of the boat. And a quick walk down the hall, all in the same building, very convenient. Is Riverside Mill and Market. So you have the ship maker and the mill next door. Classic Southern American industry. Decent food here, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Some great jambalaya, some great plates, turkey, place. Breakfast was decent. We had it this morning. I would say I like the French market food better, even though it's quick service only. Boatwright's is different. That's table service. There's part of the mill. Monster dining hall, because it's one of the bigger resorts on campus, over 2,000 rooms. And it's operated separately than French Quarter, even though they're part of Port Orleans. But it's a monster dining hall. One of the bigger quick service dining halls you're going to see on campus. That is Orleans Riverside Resort, the main building. Welcome back. Now, impressive, right? Everything is just so easy. It just kind of rolls along. You walk in, check into your right, the Fulton's General Store, River Roost Lounge. It's all very easy. That's why I took time, that whole video, that great time of day, to show you all the Boatwrights without patrons in it. Dinner only, by the way. Excellent restaurant. And the food court has very good food too. When you see my French Quarter resort review and their quick service area, which is a 1,000-room resort versus this resort, I mean, that's a huge food court. A little bonus coverage for you coming up. I love the general store so much. Took a little quick video of this wood stove I told you to check out in my first video. Fulton's General Store. Orleans Riverside Resort, Walt Disney World. Checking out Goofy and the twin Mickeys working the old school stove. Too funny. What do you see, Goofy? Work that bellow. Too funny. I just love those little things. You got all the theming. Again, that's an impressive general store. This is a resort worth checking out, even if you're staying elsewhere on campus, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. The tour continues. Again, I'm going to cover the general area, the main lobby area, talk about Old Man River Island. Next up, going to talk about the Waterwheel behind me, and where does that walkway go next to the Sassagoula River? Well, let's check that out right now. Orleans Riverside Resort, right in front of Boatwright's Dining Hall in the main area of campus. Adjacent to the Riverside Mill quick service restaurant, where I'll show you the world famous wheel here. Gonna see a man about a wheel. Why is this wheel so famous? Because it's huge. Modeled after the old southern plantations, using Mississippi River as power to run the mill. We are at the Riverside Mill and Market. This whole big building behind us is quick service. And then obviously we saw Boatwright's table service and River Roost Bar and Lounge. Oh, it's just beautiful. Looks like authentic. That's a Disney reel. It was built for the resort. But who knows, knowing Disney, they found it somewhere. Took it out of retirement. There's probably some backstory I can find out about it. And this is the walkway to our room. We showed you on the bike trail. And if you're in preferred rooms, it'll be Alligator, Bayou, and these first three buildings right here. And it's parking all the way around it. It's awesome. There's a better view of this. What runs the wheel is the river itself. Pretty ingenious. It was Archimedes invented the Waterwheel, or the Archimedes screw principle. Just diverting a river to create energy. So simple. We make it so complex nowadays. And there's the rest of the mill and market. Wonderful day here at Orleans Riverside Resort. Absolutely beautiful out. A wonderful, gorgeous day. And those umbrellas to the woods are the Fishin Hole. Gonna catch some fish. Woohoo! Back on to the tour. So as we go through our tour today, just note the layout of this resort. It's a great use of the 100 acres. I love the woods escape. I said that in my post today, promoting today's show. Absolutely wonderful. And as we see later on, as we get into the room areas, Alligator Bayou, why is that preferred? Because it's right around the corner from the main market. There's actually a door we showed you in the video where you walk out, and the first building, Alligator Bayou, is right there. We were in building 18, that map I just showed you, which was one building over, which was better for us because it was closer to our bus stop in the parking lot. Just love it, love it, love it. And one piece Disney did, and thank you, Michael Eisner, in the late 80s, early 90s, was they wanted people to stay on campus. And they had this land to develop, and that was the agreement of their partners, the Bass Bros at the time. And they just made these sprawling resorts. Caribbean Beach in 88, Coronado in 97, Orleans, French Quarter, Riverside in 91, 92. And what a great use of real estate. Love it, love it, love it. Next up, we're going to go across the bridge I'm on right now to Old Man Island in the main pool area. This is where you want to hang out. And if you're a Disney day drinker, we have some of our members, our bartenders there at the Muddy Rivers Pool Bar. Stay tuned for that tour in a second. But check out the bridge from here to Old Man Island. Harbin here, Port Orleans Riverside Resort, Walt Disney World, a moderate resort. Beautiful day here at Walt Disney World. The boat's getting ready to go to Disney Springs. Down the canal, Sassagoula River. Hence the name of the steamboat company there. That is the main check-in area. We showed a different video, first with the horse and carriage, then with the bike ride. We rent right from the house right there. Now we're on the other side. I'm going to show you Old Man River Island in the main pool. There's Boatwright's restaurant, River Roost, Yeehaw Bob, and then the Riverside Mill and Market, their quick service restaurant. They do have quick service and table service. Boatwright's an excellent New Orleans themed restaurant. And keep in mind, French Quarter next door does not have a table service restaurant. Here's the rest of the canal. You can bike around or walk around. We're staying right here this time in Alligator Bayou. This is our part 2 of Port Orleans resorts, since they're all part of one big brand, French Quarter and Riverside. And here is Old Man Island. I'll give you some perspective of where we are today. We're right in the center of the resort, right off the main lobby, straight out. And this is how you connect other parts of the resort. If you're staying in one of the plantation manors, Magnolia Bend, sometimes it's better to cut through the island to get over to the lobby instead of walking around the outside. Activities, a lot going on today for the kids. Gonna hit the Fishin Hole later, check that out. Do some fishing. Playing an Elvis cover, nice. Busy day at the pool. They have other quieter pools since it's such a big resort in Magnolia Bend. A couple pools over there since it's a huge area. Much quieter than this. One more chill in the shade. And you like Bonnie and chill in the shade. Hi, Bonnie. And the building behind there, we'll show you from the outside here, is Muddy Waters Bar and Grill, pool bar. Nice. Getting busy up there. They have seating everywhere. It's fantastic. Sports on TV if you want. Bars keep picking up. Muddy Waters is a musician, by the way. You can sit up here on a table. You can sit out in the hanging chairs or hang in the hammock. You're part of the scavenger hunt. On to the fishing hole. Let's talk about this video for a second. Couple things to note. Pool is impressive, but you can tell this is the kids area, the play area, all the games going on. Yeah, it's a bit crowded, but the resort has not 4, 5 other pools. 5 other pools in all the resort areas that are pretty chill. Stay tuned. I got a little bonus for you at the end as we show off my preferred pool right by Building 18 in Alligator Bayou. And we do pass some of those on future tours in the area. So stay tuned for that. Then also Muddy Rivers Pool Bar. It is a great layout. You're raised with a great view of the pool and the woodiness around it. Again, a very woodsy landscape there. And they got seating and tables and chairs right on this deck. So a great place to hang out. Excellent drinks. Love the bartenders there. And some are members of the Disney Day Drinkers Club, the fastest growing group in Facebook. Next up, let's talk about the recreation at the resort. I did this twice. The first afternoon we arrived, posted some great pictures about it. And then also my last morning, I did hooked a big fish that broke my line, but didn't catch one. Had a great time. We talking about the Fishin Hole, One of the few places you can fish legally on Walt Disney World property. You can bring your own gear. This is smaller bluegills and sunnies, big bass in Fort Wilderness. Checked out those videos on my YouTube channel. But this is fun. It's $6.40 for a half hour. It's just a good time. Check it out right now. This is a beautiful area of the resort. Port Orleans Riverside, Muddy River's pool bar behind us, and Old Man River Island pool. We're here at the Fishin Hole, one of the few places in Walt Disney World where you're allowed to fish. You can rent poles, bait, cane poles, and all the gear needed, starting at 7 a.m. to 1:45. Last pole in the water, 1:15. $6.39 per half hour for the whole package. Can't beat that. And they have a family rate too, just about $16 for poles of 6 package. We're going to talk to our man in charge. And there's the poles in there. We are going to get all set up here in a minute. And there's bass all over this place. Most of what you're going to catch with this setup is bluegills, sunnies. Who knows? You may get a largemouth biting. And some guys fishing already. Best hours in the morning, but also more people are here fishing in the morning. There's Alligator Bayou right there, right where we're staying. That's near our building. Great view of the water. And you can see the setup here. It's pretty sweet. And you can come here even if you're not staying on property. Just get an Uber on over here or bus it from Disney Springs or a theme park to get over here to Port Orleans Riverside Resort. Time for some fishing. The other place, of course, where you can fish on campus is Fort Wilderness Resort. You can bring your own gear there or rent from the bike barn. Here, you can also bring your own gear. So, I wish I remembered that from last time. We're going to catch some fish. Love fishing. And again, as I mentioned in the video, you don't have to be staying at that resort. You can be staying anywhere on Walt Disney World campus and show up and just say, hey, I want to go fishing. By the way, great viewership today. Appreciate all the comments and the people watching. My man Mark Lander's out there. He watched my Disney Die Hard show yesterday. And today he mentioned that, yes, best part of this resort is you can watch Yeehaw Bob Wednesday through Saturday, not on Sunday night, but just adjacent at French Quarter is Scat Cat's Lounge with jazz on weekends, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night. So that fills you in. And they both go pretty late, so check that out. Yeehaw Bob's a legend who plays in River Roost Lounge. Back to the show. Next up, I want to talk about the resort areas because we are done talking about the Fishin Hole, which is a good time. So the room areas, there's 2 main areas. 2. Magnolia Bend, which was built after, and then Alligator Bayou, which was the original Dixie landing section. Again, Magnolia Bend is like plantation home of Antebellum South. Then deeper down the Bayou Delta is Alligator Bayou, more the wilderness type residents live. Both are very different. Both are excellent place to stay. The preferred section, again, as I'll share that map real quick. The preferred section, again, is the blue buildings here on the left, Alligator Bayou, and then Magnolia Bend are these big monster buildings with the royal guest rooms. So preferred rooms in Alligator Bayou, very important. Those are the ones closest, the ones in blue on this map. And then only my man Greg's watching today. He actually told Greg, hey, Greg, watch the show. And I had to move him around because there's no fifth sleeper rooms in Magnolia Bend. They're only in Alligator Bayou, and that's a critical. My sister stayed here in 2015 for a big birthday for my dad, and she needed a fifth sleeper. She was an Alligator Bayou preferred. I just stayed in one. Stay tuned for this room tour, and you'll see an amazing fifth sleeper, amazing little surprise in the trundle bed. The royal guest rooms are the red buildings on here, and I did write them down for everyone to note. It's buildings 90 and 95, Oak Manor and Petier Place. These plantation homes with their own pools, as you see this wonderful map. In these red areas you see, those are all royal guest rooms, just converted about 10 years ago. Those are heavy theming. As we talk about the room tours in a few minutes, you will see that it's a bit less theming in the main rooms. Value resorts have deep theming. Moderate is little to none in the rooms, maybe casual theming. Because the populated Princess and the Frog, during the recent refurb, which I'll talk about Really love my room at this resort. I can't tell you how much I love this room and what they've done. They've really stepped up their game on the refurbs. So stay tuned for that towards the end of the show. But next up, we're going to do activities plus a tour. We're going to do a horse and carriage ride through Magnolia Bend. And this is beautiful. I highly recommend doing this. It's a wonderful time. You got to book in advance. That leaves right in front of Boatwright's Hall on the outside there from the first video. It's about $55 for 2 people for about a half hour. The carriages do go 2 ways. One goes to French Quarter. One goes through Riverside. So one, you get both resorts. One, you just get one resort. And you can choose a preference. And I like the kind of both resorts. I was staying at French Quarter at the time when I did this video. But this is one activity you do. Only a few places on campus you can do this. The other one's Fort Wilderness. I highly, highly, highly recommend this activity. Check it out. Orleans Riverside Resort with Phil, 10-year-old Clydesdale, and Paige, our guide. We're hanging out across the Mississippi, or the Sassagoula. And this is Magnolia Bend, the manor home part of the resort. We're staying in French Quarter, which is more like downtown New Orleans in the old days, in the French Quarter. City Street. This is Plantation Village. And it's like you're staying in someone's guest bedroom of a manor home. Gorgeous. This Sassagoula River goes from here at Riverside all the way to Disney Springs. And these are all hotel rooms. This is a moderate resort. No special rooms here. No suites. No villas. This is just a great place to stay. Big footprint. If you haven't stayed here, think of like Coronado Springs, Caribbean Beach Resort, but kind of on a half moon type arrangement, not a full circle. And there's Paige, our driver, and there's Nick. Phil. So that gives you just a rough idea. How about that view when we're coming across? You saw the kind of like inlet of one of the Oak, I think Oak Manor it was. It's impressive. Those are just moderate rooms in there. As I mentioned, I love my own videos filling in the gaps of the show. I forgot about it, what I said there. No suites. This is it. These are just moderate hotel rooms, about 270 square feet or so. And fifth sleepers in Alligator Bayou, royal guest theme rooms, but they're all the same rooms. I'll recommend a certain type to get at the end, but this is all one resort. But the theming is incredible. Incredible. Next up, combining our resort tour with activities, a Surrey bike tour we did around that same time. We were staying at French Quarter in February, and we go right through Alligator Bayou. Totally different landscape, built at a different time. 1992, open Alligator Bayou as Dixie Landing. And then a few years later, 1995, they built Magnolia Bend. I love the fact that they kept the theming Antebellum South, though, because if you go down the Mississippi River from New Orleans, you hit that French Quarter section, like French Quarter Resort, you hit the Plantations home that I've toured, then you get down to a whole different ball game like we're going to right now. So next up, we are going to Alligator Bayou on a special Surrey bike tour, which I highly recommend. You can do on several resorts on Walt Disney World campus. I've done almost all of them except for Boardwalk, which is coming up soon, but check it out right now. Here's our tour from the main area where I'm standing today to Alligator Bayou, where we stayed on this most recent trip. David Hartman here, Orleans Riverside Resort on a Surrey bike, cruising through Alligator Bayou, just on the canal that surrounds this old man island where the pool is.
Did you see any alligators?
Didn't see any alligators. It's a mile-long loop. Show you our little map there. Just a nice one-way, easy ride. A little bit of work involved. And that bridge goes over to the island. The Fishin Hole is. And the big pool and the pool bar. I'm going to show the transition soon from Alligator Bayou, which is like down the Mississippi. It's like the shacks where the hunters and fishers live. Then I'm going to the plantation homes in Magnolia Bend. the moderate resort at Disney. These are all hotel rooms in these themed homes. They're all pretty similar. The difference is views and room configuration. But there's no villas or suites on this hotel. This resort's very spread out. It's big. About 2,100 rooms along the French Quarter. It's over 3,000 rooms. And the biggest resort at Walt Disney World, room-wise. Probably area-wise, too. Now it's Magnolia Bend. The big manor homes. And then there's the pool over there. Beautiful. So that gives you a layout of the resort. We started really right on Riverside Food Court, the Mill Food Court. Alligator Bayou is right there. Preferred rooms, bam, bam. As you get farther down, just regular Alligator Bayou rooms. Then a slight transition where they built Magnolia Bend. At the whole time, to your right is the island with multiple bridges. The main bridge we did just a tour on, and then there's two other bridges there. That one goes out Alligator Bayou, one towards Magnolia Bend. It's funny on a big checkout day, like a Sunday or a Saturday, seeing everyone dragging their luggage over those bridges, because the shortest way back is going through Old Man Island over to the main resort area. It's a massive resort, but it is beautiful, as I'm proving to you guys today. That was our Surrey bike tour. The activities there are second to none. Nowhere else has the combination of Surrey bike, horse and carriage, and fishing all in the same place. Not even Fort Wilderness has Surrey bike tours. They do have a horse trail riding, which is a whole different ballgame. Next up, you've been waiting for it. Finally, why are you here? You're here about the room tour. I stayed in Alligator Bayou in a preferred room building 18. I believe 16 is the closest one we see in the videos. 18 is right behind it. I liked it better again because we drove where pass holders live 4 hours away. And boom, right through the parking lot was our bus stop. Boom, our car was right there when we needed it. Around the corner was a resort. Right in front of us was a pool. It was fantastic and so woodsy. And as you walk through Alligator Bayou, if you stay at these resorts, make sure you check them out. Make sure you go through all the areas and do all the fun things and get to know the resort, because, wow, I am just so impressed. I did stay in Magnolia Bend in Magnolia Terrace building in 2014 before their most recent refurb. You know, a big refurb, if you have wood floors, that's like the last 2-3 years in these resorts. And as I come up to our preferred room tour, preferred is location, not a specific room size, it's location. It is a type of room. So when you're preferred, you are guaranteed to be in the preferred section. What I will say is you request like ground floor or second floor, only 2 floors in Alligator Bayou. Magnolia Bend has 3 floors. 3 floors. Those have elevators. All Disney buildings with 2 floors, like Caribbean Beach Resort and Alligator Bayou of Riverside, 2 floors, no elevators. Coronado Springs, 3 floors. Magnolia Bend, 3 floors, built at a different time, has elevators. Please note that. Obviously, they put accessible people on the first floor of these 2-floor buildings. I like the 2-floor buildings better. I don't want to deal with an elevator. I like being on the ground floor. That's me. Always request a corner room. And man, request like a pool view like I had. It was awesome. So next up is our room tour where we stayed. Building 18 of the preferred section of Alligator Bayou of Disney's Port Orleans Riverside Resort. At Disney's Port Orleans Riverside Resort, Walt Disney World, a preferred room location in Alligator Bayou, corner room by request, ground floor. Got what we wanted, just off the parking lot, just a few steps away from the lobby area and all the restaurants and fun stuff going on there. Let's check it out right now. Here's why you get a corner room. Check out the 2-window view. And I don't care what it looks at. You know, I love the lush green here. I love the layout. But the extra lighting is fantastic. And I've stayed here in 2014. My sister had a room in 2015. Haven't been here since. And I love the recent improvements. There's been a full hard goods refurb. I know that because I'm standing on wood floor, not carpet. An absolute indication that there's been a hard good refurb the last few years. And also you'll see, hey look, Dave's not here, man. The wider and bigger, taller bed frames for luggage storage underneath. Also a big indication of a recent refurb, and those lights are new. I haven't seen those before. This sleeps 5 because on the right's a trundle bed, which we'll check out later. There may be a character surprise inside. And it's a sitting area, nice bench when it's not being used. And also got some nice drawers below. Very cool. Love it. And moderate resorts come with a coffee maker and a fridge. Nice fridge cabinet. Good aeration holes, well designed. Most of the ones are glass. That's surprising. That one's surprising. And I love the curtains. The kind of Alligator Bayou, deep south, Louisiana type feel. What's behind the curtain? Princess and the Frog theme, of course, because it's one of the big Disney movies, New Orleans themes. That's coming to a splash mountain near you. Hello. Love the washboard divider. Good theming. Much improved from when I stayed here in 2014. Been, wow, one number of years, and my sister stayed here again for right in Alligator Bayou, actually. I stayed in Magnolia Bend, which is the plantation section, as you'll find out more about on the show. Oh, and check out. That's great. Hello. Great theming. Kind of almost Valley Resort theming without going too crazy. I do like it. Very subtle. And look at that wood background. All the hardwoods refurb, probably the past couple of years, maybe even since COVID. Nice paint job too. Nice shower. Making moderate resorts better. The Valley Resort refurb making those better. And then you can see the wood floor. No more carpet, thankfully. Whose idea was that like 30 years ago? Great room. Looking forward to a couple nights here. Give you one more view from this side. This corner room location, which is a request, not a guarantee. But the preferred section is a guarantee. There's 4 buildings closer to the lobby area, the Riverside Mill and Market, and that's what you want to book if you want to be close walking distance. And here it is, the trundle bed surprise. Awesome. Love that movie. Fantastic. Looking forward to a fantastic stay. So if you stayed at value versus moderate, and then deluxe, obviously, again, whole different story. I do like moderate better for a lot of reasons, but also this subtle theming. I tell people, like, well, the Valley Resort is a bit of Disney cheese, like the very heavy theme, like almost like crazy theming, monster characters all over resorts, and Valley Resorts being Pop Century and the All-Star Resorts. Fort Wilderness is its own category. Great room, very impressed. I was most excited to share this with you guys today. Just only a 2-night trip this time, and I was just blown away how much more I enjoyed this resort. My man Mark Landers is watching. He'll chime in and say, yes, this is by far his favorite modern resort. Mark, I tell you, I'm becoming a convert. I love French Quarter of layout, plus they have my gumbo right there in quick service and Fat Cats and my boozy beignets. But boy, did I enjoy this last day. Now it's a toss-up. Coronado's nice, and we're going there next weekend. My man Mark's going to be there for our Disney Day Drinkers meetups. I'm staying there 2 nights, the 27th and the 29th next weekend. But stay tuned for some tours of that. But, man, this resort is awesome. I do agree. A little bonus coverage for you coming up. I do want to talk about the area right outside my door, which was a bonus for us. Again, when you go to a resort, remember where you stayed. Remember where I stay next time. Preferred is a guarantee location. Corner room is request not guaranteed. Being in front of a pool is request not guaranteed. I recommend, again, where I was perfect. Building 18, corner room, ground floor, across from the preferred quiet pool. And, man, this pool, what a difference than the main pool you saw. I love the quiet pools. By the way, question for you guys in the chat. Does Disney have adult-only pools? Walt Disney World. Please answer that question in the chat. No trivia prizes today, but I'll think about it for next show. So next up, my tips. But before that, I want to show you the preferred pool Alligator Bayou. Just a quick video right outside our door of our preferred room location, corner room. Hartman here, Disney's Orleans Riverside Resort. My corner location room, building 18, Alligator Bayou, preferred location. We're very close. My car is right through those woods there, and beyond that is the main building, the bus stops, everything you need. Preferred locations guaranteed. My corner locations request not guaranteed, but if you're good, know what you're doing, you just may get it. Beautiful cypress trees here. I'm showing you this because my location is not only awesome for my car and the lodging, but bam, pool right here. Not the main pool like we showed earlier on the show, but this is one of the quiet pools spread throughout the property, because this is a monster property with numerous divisions and locations: Alligator Bayou, Magnolia Bend, and the main manned river island. And here is one of the 3 quiet pools, I believe, there's 2 in Magnolia Bend. In these Alligator Bayou, old school Louisiana kind of hunters area type buildings. Absolutely gorgeous location. And I love even our little nature area here. Love this theming, love this resort. So glad staying here for first time in many years, and what a great adjunct to staying at French Quarter. Totally different feel, but still kind of part of the same complex. We're loving it. Come join us at the pool. That pool was an amazing departure. We hung out there before going out to Epcot for the evening, and to get away from Old Man Island, where we got there and drove and said, "Do you want to go to a theme park?" Right, like we're going to chill, enjoy the resort. I said, "I got footage to take." Producer Bonnie chilled, and I just did my footage. She was in the hammock there in that first video, the second video. And then we got to say, hey, let's check out our preferred pool. By about 4 o'clock, it started to pick up of people, but still was nothing compared to the other resorts. If you keep walking, you'll walk past all the buildings and all the preferred sections and all the Alligator Bayou. It's absolutely wonderful. So what about my Dave's tips? I stayed there. I've stayed there twice now. I visited my sister when she stayed there a few years ago. Mod Resort, Disney Pool in Riverside. Definitely stay there. Definitely stay there. Get used to the idea of the bigger resort feel. I know the biggest knock against value resorts, the value more so the moderate resorts, is the big bus loops. Stay in preferred. Book a preferred room. Stay Alligator Bayou. I love Magnolia Bend. I love that mansion feel. But inside your room, it's kind of lost. And I like the woodsier area. As we did our tour, notice it was more wide open buildings, Magnolia Bend. It was more of an open area when they built it, I believe, and hence why there's less trees. Alligator Bayou is it's like you're in a different world. It is beautiful, and you're just a walking distance. Again, boom. When I started that video of the outside, you go around the corner, through a parking lot, the bus stop was right there, and every time we went there, our bus we wanted was there. Coincidence? I think not. Definitely stay Alligator Bayou. Fifth sleeper, that's what the rooms are. Now, if you want the Royal Guest rooms and that's what your kids want, okay, choose the building that's closest to the bridge. Remember the map, which I'll show real quick. Remember the map. Okay, look at the bridge. There's a bridge right across from Oak Manor. So request close to pool. It'll put you close to the bridge that goes right to the lobby. You're not that far away there. You get a bit separated when you stay in Acadian building. You're between the bridges. But again, there's also bus stops there. If you stay in Oak Manor or Patty Rear Place and Royal Guest Rooms, you cut right across and you're right to across the parking lot to the main bus stops. So learn your tangents, as we know at Disney. Learn your ways to get a resort there quick. It's like Coronado. Thank God they built that 3 bridges, and those bridges, it's so much easier to get through that resort now instead of walking around the outside. You all know what I'm talking about, of course. Another tip, eat at Boatwright. Oh my Lord, that restaurant is unbelievable. I've missed it in the days everyone called the worst restaurant Walt Disney World. How could you mess up Cajun Creole food? I've had every entree. Their captain's platter has a mix of everything. Their shrimp and grits, everything's amazing. Great bar selection because it comes from River Roost. Eat there and go listen to Yeehaw Bob afterwards. And when Yeehaw Bob's not playing, walk on down, take the bus on down to French Quarter Resort and check out Scat Cat's nightclub and have some boozy beignets for dessert. How about that, Mark Landers, huh? On to my tips and continue my tips. Definitely do the recreation. I made a clear case in both my resort reviews. Again, on YouTube, check out Super Bowl Sunday, February 13th, live from the resort itself. I was sitting in front of my room and did the resort review then, right before Super Bowl, of French Quarter. Excellent activities. Do the horseback riding reserve in advance. Surrey bikes, you can just walk up and go. Bass fishing, they actually have serious bass fishing for $270 for 5 people. They pick you up right there by the boat dock. And one thing I didn't talk about was in the videos, there's a boat to Disney Springs. And again, it was covered in the videos, but I want to emphasize that. Take that boat. It's an awesome ride. You go past French Quarter, you go past Treehouse Village, you go past Saratoga. And what a great ride. Take advantage of the boat ride, which we did on Super Bowl Sunday from French Quarter. That's another great tip to know. Take advantage of the activities. Love the Fishin Hole. And hey, if you're not staying there and you like this video today, you can do all the activities I mentioned without staying at the resort. The horseback riding, the Surrey bike ride, the Fishin Hole, eating at Boatwrights, enjoying Yeehaw Bob at River Roost, all the things I just mentioned you can do wherever you're staying on Walt Disney World. You don't have to even be staying on property technically, just between you and I. Those are my tips. Definitely stay at this resort. I was so excited to share this show with you guys because I fell in love with this resort all over again. I love when that happens because I hadn't stayed there in 8 years and hasn't visited in a long time. Appreciate you guys watching. A few last comments before I go. Mark Landers, who called this his favorite model resort. My man, Mark, who I met at Banana Cabana Caribbean Beach Club back in September 30th, I believe, before the great anniversary of Walt Disney World. He says, Scat Cat Lounge is awesome. I was just there recently on this trip and loved it. Had a great bourbon flight for you Disney day drinkers in the audience, Mark and Skip and Tony, and a great bourbon flight and some boozy beignets. They have a great chocolate martini. Weekends is jazz. Open every night. They have nice music, but weekends live jazz with a great band. Has some rotating members. This one guy plays a 6-string bass. Imagine that. And then also Yeehaw Bob Wednesday through Saturday, not Sunday night. And Yeehaw Bob has his own website on Disney's website. Appreciate you guys being on. As always, like this and share it wherever you're watching it. If you catch us halfway through, it turns recording when I'm done. Rewind and watch it. I will put that preferred room tour on YouTube by itself because it came out so good. I'm very impressed with that room. And subscribe to my Fantastic Endeavors YouTube channel. We'll be live next week from Walt Disney World. Instead of a show, I may just do some live check-ins, doing some Disney Day Drinker meetups. Make sure you follow that group on Facebook. And we are staying in Coronado Springs and a VP Ambassador Suite at Polynesian Lounge. Stay tuned for that video on Live Feed. It's going to be awesome. We'll see you guys next week for Memorial Day weekend at Walt Disney World live on location. Hope you enjoyed my show today, my Port Orleans Riverside review.